Said this before, I would like to be an example of the ease and the flow of all of it. Like, people just look at me and they're like, wow, how do you do, like, I want to help people in that way of just
And so here it is. We were saying that you want to be of value and you want that fame and that fortune. And the words that we didn't say that we can feel pulsing in your being is, and I want to be understood.
Yes.
But you got to give that up.
How?
By understanding that they can't understand you.
So then how do I present myself?
You present yourself as you mean to be, and you don't give a rip about how they receive you.
How do I give a rip about my parents?
You see, you can't control how anyone else receives you. You can only control whether you're in the receptive mode or not. So you're going to really like this. This is the breakthrough that you're looking for.
How did you know?
So when you are broadcasting, that's how you set your receiving mode. What you broadcast is what you're receiving. What you broadcast is how you set your receiving mode. So if you're broadcasting from this state of alignment, as we said earlier, the energy that creates worlds is flowing through you in such a powerful way that it overrides what anybody else is doing. It doesn't matter what they're thinking about you. What they're thinking about you doesn't affect you if what you're broadcasting has the concert of all that you are flowing with you. You see what we're getting at? But if you've been like most and you have domineering someone's in your life who want you to care about what they think, who've convinced you that it's their allegiance and alignment that you need, but their allegiance and alignment is not in sync with what Source knows about you. When you hook up with what humans want about you, the receptive mode's something down here. When you hook up with the receptive mode of your inner being, it's a whole different vibrational frequency, you see. And so we talked about this earlier, that when you care about how anybody is receiving you, that's always what introduces the resistance and doesn't allow you to get the momentum going. That's always what it is. Now we know, we keep offering words like don't give a rip and don't care, but there's also this thing called law of attraction, or this being an inclusion-based universe. There's no resistance. So you can't not care, because in the not caring, you're caring about what you're not caring about. So when we say just don't care, just don't give a rip, we're not giving you anything that you can use. We're just telling you, in answer to your question, why it isn't working. But what does work is turning your attention to what does feel good. What does work is turning your attention toward the things that you can find pieces of. And that's what you were not willing to do with us. And we understand it's a big room and there's some bit of self-consciousness, but you are sort of stubbornly determined to stand in your place of hardship. It's almost like you want to overcome the hardship so that the others will understand something. You can't overcome hardship. It's so interesting. We watch so many people that are now in the successful place that you are on your way to, who want to explain how hard it was that they got there, because they're still listening to all of the people who are upset that they're not there yet, and they're trying to soothe those that aren't there yet. But that doesn't work. You've got to reach the place where you accept that it's easy, and then it will be easy, and then you got to say to everyone, whether they're willing to listen or able to hear it in the way you mean it, it was easy. It was easy. I made it a struggle a lot longer than I needed to, but when I finally figured it out, it was easy. Question is why? You said why? Why was it easy? It was easy because the energy was already there, and the momentum had already been gathered, and the stuff was already aligned. It was easy because I just had to do one little piece. I just had to relax a little. I just had to trust a little. I just had to believe a little. I just had to try a little less hard. I just had to stop justifying and rationalizing and defending. I had to stop the struggle and the effort and the defense and the blame. I just had to stand and let it come, which meant I had to feel worthy without justification. Isn't that just the most incredible thing? I've got to feel worthy without justification. How can I do that when I've been justifying and justifying and justifying and it hasn't been coming? That's why. It doesn't come. Your worthiness cannot be presented to you in the form of blessings that you all deserve when you feel that you have to justify your worthiness, you see. You got to give that up. We're making so much more of this than it deserves. You just have to find something fun to think about and think about it. Is there anything fun to think about? Is there anything fun that's in your vortex that you'd like to think about? Anything at all? Stop it.
Cars. Why do I do that? I take so long to just decide.
It's an internal struggle. It's an internal struggle as you're trying to give yourself permission to talk about something, and you're worried that you might not say the right thing, when anything that you would have said would have been the right thing.
Oh, man.
Anything that you would have said would have been the right thing. Anything. Because you get to want, you get to desire. The universe is ready to yield to you. You don't have to justify. You had someone teach you that you need to justify. You better have a very good reason for asking for what you're asking for. But that's not the way the universe at large is. That's not who your inner being is. Your inner being is ready and willing and able to shower you with the blessings and the details that you've been asking for. You just have to give yourself permission to ask. So we had a little rough conversation there, just a little bit, but you felt it, didn't you? You felt it. And so car represents a vehicle. Why is a car appealing to you?
How are you saying the things in my head? Well, no, we already know.
Well, we told you, we're standing in your vortex. We can say things that aren't even yet in your head.
Say it, say it, say it. Do it, do it.
This is the point. We are transmitting to you signals that are going to surprise and delight you and keep you living happily ever, ever after. But you just have to get in the vicinity of it so they start occurring to you. So here's the question. Was it our thought that you received, or was it your thought that we received?
What?
You talked about us getting in your head. Was it our thought that you received, or was it your thought that we received?
I have no idea.
Think about it. This matters. We've been talking all day about you being in the receptive mode. We've been talking about this vortex that has all the things in it that you've been putting there, and our ability to be in there, to see it, to know it, to understand it, and we are projecting a signal that is so powerful. Who's in the receptive mode? You are. You are. Even when you want something, that means you're in the receptive mode. For a desire to even occur to you, you're in the receptive mode. You just got to run with it and not kill it with your doubt. You got to say, I got an idea. That means I'm in the receptive mode, and that means it can be a reality. It can be a see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, touch it manifestation. It can be. It can be all of that because I want it. I received it. Where do you think your desires come from? Because you're in the receptive mode. We just want you to stay there, which was what your brilliant question was about. How can I stay there longer? How can I stay in the receptive mode longer?
Back to cars.
Back to cars, all right.
I kind of feel connected to a machine in that type of way. I just know the corners, the angles, how much it wants to be pushed, where it wants to go. I would love to be a race car driver, but I mean, I have no idea how I'm going to get there.
Now wait,
That'll be fun. It's just fun. It's just.
Now don't explain yourself. You made a bad mistake just now. We're playing with you, but that's the thing. I would love to be a race car driver, but
I like to do a lot of other things. Like, I just want to do everything, and I want to have it all at the same time. But
I want to do everything, and I want to have it all, but
how? How would I be everything? I would be like everybody.
All right, so we're going to give you the secret to the success that you're looking for.
Do it.
And you're ready for it, and they're ready for you to be ready for it. So when you say, I want cars, or I want everything, and you say, how? Just change that one question to why. Because the why will hold you in the momentum of your desire longer. The how, almost every time, will take you out of it. Whenever you ask yourself for an answer that you don't have, you lose your connection. But when you ask a question that leads you further in the momentum of your desire, it allows the momentum of the desire to go further. Did you hear that?
When my parents ask how I'm going to do that, what do I tell them?
The word why and what's it to you are similar. Why are you interested might be a good question. Why are you interested? What would they say?
Because they care for my well-being. They would like to see me be, more, more successful, but like more happier and more, well off.
I love that answer, folks. Thanks so much. Thanks so much.
Yeah, but what are you going to do about it?
Why do you want to know?
Because you're sitting at home doing nothing.
But what's action got to do with anything?
Because how are the bills going to pay themselves? How are you going to feed yourself? How are you going to provide for your family? How are you going to do all of these things?
Well, it's not possible for my dreams to come true and all of that to not come true with it. It's not possible for me to come into alignment with all that I'm asking for and have any lack whatsoever in my life experience. Mom, Dad, you're taking score of where I am. You have to give me an opportunity to move from where I am to where I'm going. And you can't ask me for the details of how I'm going to make that transition, because that's going to come one step at a time, and you can't stand with me one step at a time. In fact, I think that you standing there every step along the way and asking me, where are you going, what are you doing, how are you doing, where are you going, what are you doing, how are you doing, is distracting me from what I need to do to go. Just give me a little space and I'll show you how I'm going to do it by doing it. I can't explain it to you word by word. I don't have the answers word by word. Don't ask me for a plan of action that's going to take me from point A to point B. Let me tune into the inspiration that allows that to come. All that is good to anyone comes through inspiration, and my inspiration must be allowed to flow. I love how much you love me, and I love how interested you are in what I'm doing, and I am so exhilarated about what's coming for me and how good you're going to feel about it. And I love how much you love me, and I want you to know how much I love you. But you gotta let me just have some space where I can prove to myself how this all works. And I'm right on the brink of it. I can feel it. I can feel that things are moving and that the energy is flowing. I can feel that things are ready to pop. I can feel the inspiration percolating within me. I can feel ideas flowing. You know what it feels like to have a good idea. I know you do. I see the success of your lives. I know that you know this in some way. But I'm doing it in a way that you have not done it, or maybe most people have not done it. I am no longer going to be so action-oriented that I only allow myself the mediocrity of life. I'm reaching for something that is bigger, and that takes big dreams. And big dreams cannot be explained at the outset. They have to be allowed to gestate. They have to be allowed to evolve. And I promise you, you'll be the first ones that I let know that this is coming, and this is coming, and this is coming, and this is coming. You can witness this translation of me in this physical time-space reality. You're going to get to watch me move myself from this being that you see as your son to someone who is so much more, to the being that you gave birth to the person that you gave birth to the person who is created masterfully, to the person who is now in the receptive mode and ready to receive not just the manifestation, but the glorious life on the way to the manifestation. One thing after another. Mom, Dad, I'm never going to get this done. Neither are you, and I'm never going to get it wrong. I'm going to stand in this place of knowing who I am and what I'm doing, and all day long I'm just going to dream and ask myself why I want it, and dream and ask myself why I want it, and you get to witness what the true power of the universe is. You're going to get to watch me translate my vibrations into thoughts and my thoughts into things, and I'm not going to explain one bit of it to you along the way. So our question to you is, do you believe more in the power of the vortex and the receptive mode, or do you believe more in the power of the purse of your parents? Do you believe in your own ability to receive? Are they the only vortex through which abundance flows? Do you believe that the universe will yield to you? And do you believe that that has been a way that it has been yielding to you, but that there are other ways? That's the key for you. We've enjoyed this interaction immensely.